hundreds, plus get free shipping on your entire order. Call eFoods today at 800-409-5633 or visit them online at efoodsdirect.com/Alex to find the special. That's 800-409-5633 or efoodsdirect.com/Alex. You can bet your life on eFoods Direct. This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now, new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365. A very wealthy U.S. citizen is predicting that in 2011, we will witness the most important day in America in more than 50 years. He says it will change everything about our lives. The way you shop, travel, invest, educate your children, and even how you take care of your health and your own family. Now, this man has made some outrageous predictions over the years. The crazy part is, he's usually right. You see, he predicted the collapse of GM, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and America's biggest mall owner, General Growth Properties. In fact, Barron's called his work a dire prophecy. Recently, he created a video, which you can watch online for free, detailing his biggest and most important prediction yet. And it's a real eye-opener. I can't stress this enough. You should at least watch this free video online today. He explains everything you need to know, including simple steps you can take to protect yourself. You can find the video at www.endofamerica3.com. That's endofamerica, the number 3.com. Watch the free video at www.endofamerica3.com. That's endofamerica3.com.
He's the T-Rex of political talk. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
Well, we are in the thick of it yet again. Jesse Ventura, I can tell you right now, will run as the Libertarian presidential candidate. He will go and attempt to get their nomination at their caucus that's coming up, and he would undoubtedly win if the Libertarian leadership contacts him and basically just shows him the ropes and shows him a little bit of interest. Quite frankly, the way the Libertarians work anyways is Ventura should just go in there and do it himself. But obviously, I know they've approached Ron Paul a few weeks ago, and they said, we'd like you to come over here if you're going to have a third-party run. Ron Paul has said he has no intention of that right now, but he's leaving it open and might do it if he doesn't win the Republican nomination. And he's got to say that, because then they'll say, you're not really a Republican, you're not serious, when he's number 2 or number 3 in every poll. And people would say, well, what would you do if Ron Paul got the nomination and then Ventura was over there? Well, Ventura would just run as an auxiliary to kind of educate people about libertarian ideas and expose the TSA, and would probably just throw his support behind Ron Paul. The point is that they've reached out to Ron Paul. They should reach out to Ventura, and then we'll know by the time that election process happens. It happens after March, and by then we'll know if Ron Paul is going to win in the primaries or not. I mean, they'll probably try to cheat him in New Hampshire like they already did, and then we'll see what happens in a few other states. But he's a lot stronger than last time. And then if it doesn't look like he's going to do it, by staying in there, he's educated folks, injected real ideas, been in the debates, showed what true libertarian constitutionalism is. He punches out, runs as a libertarian. And Ventura's ready to run as his VP. He's already said that. So if the Libertarian Party gets somebody like Aaron Russo or somebody like Bob Barr or somebody like Michael Badnarik, those are all great people, prominent, well-known, great men. But Ventura's even more known, and he's great in a stump speech, and he's got very libertarian views, extremely libertarian when it comes to fiscal, libertarian, liberal-edged. But, I mean, he's right in the middle of the libertarians. And I'm telling you, it is a power-packed duo. I know politics. But regardless, if Ron Paul, who's already saying he's retiring, if he doesn't win, fades off, can you imagine Ventura? I mean, look, here is John McCain today. In fact, I'll show you a document cam shot of this. This is out of Reuters. Fed up. McCain predicts rise of third political party. No kidding. In some polls, it's more than 80% are mad at both parties. 9% approval rating for Congress. They are ready for something new. Well, it's got to be viable, like the Libertarians. It's got to be viable candidates. It's got to be somebody with name recognition. And not somebody like Newt Gingrich running on a third party. McCain predicts rise of third political party, says the public is totally angry that it's going to happen. No kidding. Well, here's the other article right here. Paul, dealing with Ron Paul. Poll, Ron Paul third-party bid could transform 2012 election. Paul Ventura ticket would pose greater threat than Ross Perot 92 campaign. Ross Perot went up to above 30%. Then they threatened his family. He backed out. When he began, he was at about 5%. In national polls, Ron Paul is polling at 18%. In the latest scientific poll, I've seen him as high as 30%. He does much better against Obama in every poll than any other Republican. He's a true constitutionalist. He'll end the Federal Reserve. He'll cut back all these wars and military and this globalism. He's against the New World Order. He is the antidote to the cyanide at this level. And again, even if he doesn't win, he wins by putting out real issues, exposing the real enemy. So, Mark Hinkle is the head of the Libertarian Party right now. And Jesse Ventura just wants to be shown around. And then he says he'll go through the process. So imagine for the Libertarian Party, who's got ballot access and all this, what a Ventura candidacy, or even him involved in the caucus, would do. Imagine. In fact, maybe he'd want to be vice president to somebody. He already said he would for Ron Paul. He just wants to be able to inject real issues. He is perfect. And some have said the Libertarian Party has had infiltrators in it over the years to make sure it didn't get going, because it is the strongest third party out there with ballot access and millions of voters. So if they don't reach out to Ventura at least, and I don't know Chris Hinkle from a hole in the ground. I'm sure he's a great guy. In fact, his background looks good. Yeah, Mark Hinkle. What was I calling him? Chris Hinkle. It doesn't matter. I'm brain dead. Chris Hinkle. Or Mark Hinkle. See, I don't know him from a hole in the ground. I don't even know his name. Mark Hinkle. I was trying to pull it up here. I was going from memory. You can go to markforchair.com. I guess that's his website when he was running to be the Libertarian Party head, and contact him and contact the entire Libertarian. People are like, how do we contact him? Type in Libertarian Party. Then it gives you links to their site. Then you click on their site on the Libertarian National Committee, and it gives you all the people on the committee, and there it is. Now, perfect timing for the rest of the hour, and 5 minutes into the next hour, to have Michael Badnarik, a good friend of mine, former Austinite, he actually died, survived a heart attack, I guess it was a year and a half ago or so now. He's an American software engineer, political figure, former radio talk show host. He was Libertarian Party nominee for President of the United States in 2004 elections and placed fourth in the race nationally by an independent Ralph Nader. 2 years later, he ran as Libertarian Party candidate in 2006 congressional elections for the 10th Congressional District seat. Badnarik's political philosophy emphasizes individual liberty, personal responsibility, and strict adherence to the original interpretation of the U.S. Constitution. All of his positions arise from this foundation. In economics, Badnarik believes in the laissez-faire capitalism, a system in which the only function of government is the protection of individual rights from the institution of force and fraud. He therefore opposes institutions such as welfare and business regulation. ConstitutionPreservation.org is his great website. We're going to get into all the new horrors, the open overthrow of the Constitution now. It's in full flames right now. We're going to get his view on everything that's happening, his take on it. But first, Libertarian Party, I mean, they've got a responsibility, I think, to run a really hardcore, focused candidate who will be an activist and who will attack the police state. Ventura has really woken up now. I've seen his policies as governor. He was a maverick, a real guy, but not very well informed at the time. Now he is. You just heard my rant, Michael, about him. What do you think he should do? Because he's wanting to be contacted by the Libertarians. What's your view on that?
I think that the Libertarian Party should at least reach out to him. If your background people will text me Ventura's phone number, I'll make sure that Mark Hinkle gets it.
So you know Hinkle?
I do know Mark Hinkle. He's a good man. I was there in St. Louis last year when he was nominated as our national chair. I've spoken to him fairly recently, and I will make sure that Mark at least gets Ventura's phone number. They may have it already. I spoke to someone about 2 weeks ago who suggested that they had invited Jesse to come and participate in a debate. I don't know that phone call. I don't know, but
I'll tell you right now, Jesse Ventura talks to basically no one. And see, that's the issue, is that he's just his own guy, so it's hard to get a hold of him. I mean, I'm friends with him, and so I'm ready for them to talk to libertarians right now. I'm ready to get this going right now.
Well, I can at least give Mark the phone number and do that much. At least we'll start the phone calls, rolling.
Yeah, well, if you just have Hinkle call me up at the end of the show, I'll get him on the phone, a three-way with Ventura right now, or, whatever. I would give you Ventura's number, but I got to call him and ask permission, and he never wants me to give anybody his number. I was there when some billionaire industrialist wanted to get in contact with him, and he said no when I was out at this event. I don't want to say he's reclusive, but it borders on it, that he goes out in public a lot, but he just doesn't like telephones. He doesn't have a cell phone, but we'll work on that. But obviously, I think Ventura would bring just a lot of energy and attention to the Libertarian Party. That's a no-brainer.
Well, one of the reasons that libertarians would love Ron Paul to run as a Libertarian candidate is to bring all that notoriety that he has with him. And so I think that it's possible, if not probable, that libertarians would nominate a notable figure like Jesse.
Well, sure. Plus, he is a libertarian, but more importantly, he's ready to be a placeholder for Ron Paul. He's ready to be VP.
I understand that.
He's the perfect candidate. He's ready right now. And again, folks, imagine Ron Paul's a lot better known than Ross Perot. Ross Perot was hardly known when he first ran. Ventura is super well known. These are both dynamite candidates. And again, I know Ventura, if Ron Paul was to get the nomination and Ventura was already going as a Libertarian, they would just become an auxiliary of Ron Paul while building up the Libertarian Party.
I believe that.
It's perfect then. All right, well, it's just everybody's calling me now that Ventura said this yesterday on the show and last week, and Ventura hadn't been contacted, or they don't know how to get a hold of him. So all of that's going on. And so now I'm getting emails, phone calls. People are like, get it going, get it going. So I'm just going to try to make sure that these groups meet up and that this happens, because there's no time like the present, especially because Ventura is going to have to stay here and not go to Mexico if he bites on this. And he's ready to do it. He's angry. Believe me, he's told me, Alex, I want to ride off into the